Sally Bakewell on the phone, who helps lead our Wall Street coverage here at Bloomberg with a little bit more detail as to what we know. Sally, how many jobs are we talking about here?
Yeah, so hi, Romain. So we're talking about hundreds of jobs across the company, with many from the Wall Street Giants investment banking division. Now, this is another indication, really, that the expense pressures that banks are facing, they're really leaving no one immune. Now, the size of job cuts across Wall Street, they varied very widely. Citigroup already eliminated dozens of staffers across its investment banking division in November, and then we had Morgan Stanley trimming a far larger number of employees, about 1,600 in December. And then along came Goldman Sachs, which embarked on one of its biggest rounds of reductions ever in January, cutting about 3,200 positions. But it all indicates that they are all susceptible to these pressures, and they're trying to pull that lever of headcount reductions to meet that.
How much of this, Sally, based on what we know, is a result of overhiring during the pandemic years and during the boom of deal making versus maybe some opportunity to trim costs because there's more reliance on automation?
Well, there are a couple of things. They generally stopped their routine cuts during the pandemic. So they probably have a little bit of cutting to do to revert to that norm of pre-pandemic levels. But of course, there is a deal slump at the moment, and investment banking divisions have really suffered, as we saw in their first quarter earnings. And they're facing a lot of macroeconomic uncertainty too, and they have the clouds of a recession looming. So expenses are really top of mind. And again, headcount is really one of the main ways that they can do this when they're facing that kind of cocktail of different forces.